Hi everyone, you're welcome back to the channel. My name is Sarah. On today's video, we'll be cutting and sewing this beautiful Basque waistline top with keyholes at the neck area. I made use of 1 yard of Ankara fabric and 1 yard of doll face satin. On this video, I share two methods on how you can turn your keyhole. The first one is with satin and the second one is with bayards, but I went with the bayards. You can see how beautiful this top looks. Please don't forget to like, share and drop your comment. I'll be at the comment section to answer any questions. So guys, let's get into it. So for this, I have my pattern paper here. I came in by 1 inches for the center front, then I came down by 1 inches also for the startup line. Next we have to do is to get the bust point. For my bust point, I'll be using 10 inches for the bust point. Then I'll come down for the under bust by 13 inches. For the waist, I'll be making use of 17 for the waist. Then the top length is 25 inches. Now I'll mark this here. I'll connect these lines together. So guys, I'm done connecting the lines together. The next we have to do now is to get the width of the neckline. For the width of my neckline, I'm making use of 3 inches for the width and the depth also 3 inches. Now I'll connect this line together. Then after connecting the necklines together, now we have to get the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 14 inches. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7 inches. Then I'll add half inches for seam allowance. Then I'll come down from this my shoulder width by 1 inches. This is for the shoulder slope. Now connect this to my width of the neckline. So now the next we have to do is to get the chest line. To get your chest line, you divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. After doing that, I have 7 inches for my chest line. Now check what I have from the chest line to this startup line here. We have 8 inches. I will come here also and match this up. Connect the chest line together. It's always good to label your pattern. This is chest line, bust point, under bust, my waist, and the top length. So now after doing this, now we have to get the nipple to nipple point. For my nipple to nipple point, I'll be making use of 4 inches. On the bust point, I'll come there and mark 4 inches. On the waist, I'll put down the 4 inches, and the top length 4 inches. Now connect this line together. Now we have to open the dart. For my dart, I'll be making use of half inches here and half inches here also. Then I'll come down from the bust point by 1 inches. The dart is not getting to the bust point. Now connect my dart legs together. The dart is not getting to the hem line, so I came up by 2 inches. Then I'll connect the dart legs this way. So I'm done connecting the dart legs together. Now we'll drop the shoulder measurement on the chest line. So the shoulder I'm working with is 7 inches plus half inches for seam allowance. That's 7.5. Now connect this line like this. Now we'll divide the shoulder measurement by 2. 7 divided by 2 give me 3.5. I'll come here and mark 3.5. Now come in by half inches for the shaping of my shoulder. Now connect a straight line like this and connect my armhole. We've gotten the armhole. Now we'll drop the bust measurement on the chest line. The bust I'm working with is 36. 36 divided by 4 is 9 inches. I'll drop 9 inches here. Then on the waistline, I'll divide my waist by 4. Waist I'm working with is 31. 31 divided by 4 will give me 7.75. I'll drop this here and check what I have for my dart. I have 1 inches. I'll add down back the 1 inches. Then for the hip I'm working with is 38. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. So now I'll drop the 9.5 here. So now connect my chest line to the waist like this, then waist to the hip this way. Now on the bust point line, I'll come down by 2 inches. This is the difference between my front length and the back length. So now I'll connect this 2 inches mark to my nipple to nipple point here. After doing this, now we have to tighten the underbust. To tighten the underbust, you divide what you have on your underbust. I have, for my underbust, I have 29 inches. By the time I divide 29 by 4, give me 7.25. I'll drop down 7.25 here and check what I have left. I have 1.75. On the center front here, I will come in by 0.75 here. Then on this other side, I will drop what I have here like this, the 0.75 on this second dart leg. That's what I drop, and I will mark the 1.75 here. We'll connect this mark to the nipple to nipple point this way. You can see the way I place my curve like this, and you turn your curve to the other side and do the same thing like this. So now connect this line to the waist. For the princess that we've already divided our armhole by 2, so now I'll just place my curve this way and mark like this. Then I'll come out by 0.5 inches from the armhole. This is it. This is the new armhole. So now connect this to this new armhole we have like this. Okay, this is it. Now we have to work on the keyhole for the neckline. I'll come down by 1.5 and mark here. Come here also and mark 1.5 all around the neckline. 1.5. So now connect these lines together. For the keyhole, we'll come in by 1 inches here and mark. Now we have to create a cycle. You create your cycle like this. This is the first cycle. Now we'll come here by 2.5 inches to create the second one like this, and you connect. So this is the second cycle. So now cut this out, then we'll draft the back pattern. So now I'll fold the bust darts, then I'll use my paper tape to tape this down, and I will blend the sides of my top, and I'll continue cutting. So guys, I'm done cutting. Now use my paper tape to tape this down so we can get the basque for the front. A straight line down to the hem of the top like this. Now cut this out. This is the pattern paper for the back. I came in by 1 inches for zipper allowance. Then I came down by 1 inches here. This will be my startup line. Now the next we have to do is to get shoulder to waist. So this will be stopping at the waist. So this is my shoulder to waist 15. So for the width of the neckline, 3 inches, and for the depth, I'll be making use of 4 inches for the depth of the neckline. 4 inches here, and I'll connect it together this way. Then I will get the shoulder. For the shoulder, I'll be making use of 14 inches. 14 divided by 2 is 7 plus 0.5 inches. That will give me 7.5. So I'll mark my 7.5 here, and I will come down there by 1 inches for the shoulder slant and connect to this neck width. Now I'm done connecting the lines together. Now the next we have to do is to get the chest line. To get your chest line, divide your bust by 6 plus 1.5. After doing that, I have 7 inches. Here I'll come down by 7 inches. I'll check what I have from this startup line. I have 8.25. Then I'll bring it down to this side also, 8.25, and mark. Now connect this line together. Now the next we have to do is to bring down the shoulder measurement on our chest line, which is 7.5. I'll bring it down here and I will connect the line together. Now the next we have to do is to divide this 7 inches into 2. I'll divide by 2 this way, and I'll come in by 0.25. So now to get the armhole for the back, I'll connect this way, and I'll finish up with my French curve. Now we have to get the bust span. The bust span I'm working with is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. I'll put down 4 here. On the chest line also, I'll put down 4 here. It's always good to label your pattern. Here I'll put down chest line. Then this is the waist, which is the top length. Now connect this bust span together. So now come down by 1 inch from my chest line, like this, and I'll open the dart by half inches. Half inches here, half inches here. Now connect the dart legs together. Now we have to tighten the back. So to tighten the back, I will come in by half inches. So from this neck depth, I will connect this half inches like this. Now we have to get the new zipper allowance. So from this half inches here, I will mark my zipper allowance, which is 1 inches. Just now connect it together. Okay, this is the new zipper allowance. So zip. Now the next we have to do after getting this is to divide the bust. The bust I'm working with is 36. 36 divided by 4 will give me 9 inches. From this line here, you can see that's where I drop my 9 inches. Then on the waist also, the waist is 31. 31 divided by 4 will give me 7.75. I'll drop the 7.75 after this my zipper bulge. That's where I will drop it here, and I will add my allowance for the dart intake, which is 1 inches, and mark. So now connect this together. So now we are done with the back. You can see it's very easy and fast. I'll cut this out, then I'll cut it on my fabric and tell you what next to do. So guys, I'm done cutting on my fabric and the lining. This is the back of the top. This is the side front. So now I'll keep this aside. Then for the center front, that hole, the keyhole we have at the center front, to cut this so it can be cycled the way it is on the pattern paper, I made use of blade. You just use this to give hole on your fabric like this to get that perfect hole. Then after it's giving us that hole now, I will just put in my scissors. Do the same thing for this other keyhole. Now the next I have to do is to go and join the sides on half inches from the hem of the blouse. That's where I will join to this up of this blouse here, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. So guys, I'm done with the joining of the sides, and I've pressed the seams open. And for the back, I've sewed down my darts on the main fabric and on the lining. So now I'll go to the sewing machine. I will join the shoulder on half inches, the front and the back shoulders on half inches, and I will do the same thing also on the lining. Then I will tell you what next to do. I'm done with the joining of the shoulder. You can see how it is. I pressed my seams open so it can lay down flat, and I've done the same thing also on my lining. So now I will be turning the lining and the main fabric at the neckline on half inches round like this. I'll make sure the shoulders are together like this. I'll pin this down. I'll pin the other shoulder down also, shoulder to shoulder. So now I'll go and turn this on half inches round the neckline, and I will tell you what to do next. I'm done sewing the neckline round. Now I'll give it a launch round the neckline, and I will give this a good press, and I will tell you what next to do. So I'm done pressing the neckline. You can see how flat is laying down. Then I sew round the keyhole. You can see how it is. After sewing, I trim out the excess of the main fabric with the lining. I trim it out like this. First thing you do, you sew down the keyhole this way, like cycle, then you trim it out. After trimming out the main fabric, it will look like this other cycle. So I just use this to show you sample. You can see how it is. I've trimmed this one out also. So before I sew, I will trim this one out and this other one. So now we have to cut out fabric that we use to turn out the keyhole. I will make use of this pattern paper to cut out my fabric. I'll check what I have here. I have 1.25. Then from this edge here, which is the radius, I will come down here also and mark 1.25. 0.25 here also. Then now connect the lines together. So now cut this out. From this radius we have here, come down by ½ inches, and I will mark here ½ inches. So now cut this out. I'm done cutting out the ½ inches. Now open it on my fabric like this. I will use this to cut out the fabric. I'll cut out 4 of these and I will tell you what next to do. Guys, I'm done cutting the cycle on my fabric. Now the next I have to do, I will draw a cycle around this. That's the keyhole. I will do that. And after doing that, now I will now sew round the cycle on a loose stitch, and I will show you what it looks like. I've sewed a loose stitch around it, and this is the middle, the keyhole. Now I'll bring my fabric on the back of the top. This is the front of the facing. So now I'll just place it on that keyhole. You can see I'll pin this down. So now when I'm sewing, I'll be sewing this at the front of the blouse, like round this keyhole here, so I can see what I'm sewing. That's how you get a neat finishing. You sew in the front this way. You can see I've done this one. This is the first one I did. Now we have to do this, then I'll do for the remaining keyhole and show you what it looks like when I'm done. I'm done sewing around the cycle. You can see how it looks. Now you know we sew on 0.25 round the facing, and we didn't cut that out. I will draw the gathers. Now just draw it a bit. Now I'll use my pressing iron to press this round. So after pressing it like this, we'll turn it to the front and we'll open the cycle. I'm done opening the cycle. Now turn it to the front. So guys, I'm done pressing. You can see how it looks. Now we'll go and sew at the edge here. I'm done with the sewing of the 4 keyholes. You can see how it looks. Now the next we have to do is to join the sides on 1.5 inches. I will join fabric to fabric, lining to lining, and I will tell you what to do next. I'm done joining the sides on 1.5 inches. You can see how it is at the front. So now we'll turn this to the back, and I've pressed my seams open. You can see how it looks. This is the back of the top. When you want to turn the hem of your top, you make sure the joining at the sides are together, the darts are together. This joining at the front also is together like this. I will start to sew from this center back on ½ inches all round to the other end of the back, and I will tell you what to do next. I'm done with the sewing of the hem of the blouse. Then you can see the way I fold the side of the blouse, so this will not be, the allowance there will not be obstructing the sewing while you're sewing. You fold it, the edges like this, the joining of the darts, everything are together. This is the back of the blouse. I'm done turning it. You can see how it looks. Now turn it to the front. Next we have to do is to cut out the sleeve. Before you cut out your sleeve, you check what you have on your round sleeve. Here I have 8 inches. You know this is a puff sleeve. I will times this 8 inches by 3. On the round sleeve, I have 8 inches, so I will times the 8 inches by 3. 8 times 3 will give me 24. Then I will add my seam allowance to it, which is I added 2 inches to this, making it 26. The next you have to do is to get your cap height. To get your cap height, you divide your bust by 12. The bust I'm working with is 36 36 divided by 12 will give me 3 inches plus 1. That will give me 4 inches. So here I'll come down by 4. This is my cap height. Connect like this. You can see how it is. This is the sleeve. While I'm sewing on my armhole, I'll be planting this sleeve like this to the width on the armhole. This is how it will be. Then I will use elastic to ruch the hem of the sleeve. Now let me cut this out. I'm done cutting out. What I have to do, I will go to the sewing machine. I'll be folding the hem of my sleeve on 1 inches. This is half inches. Now fold under half inches again. Then I'll tell you what to do next. I'm done, guys, with the hemming of my sleeve. You can see how I fold it. I fold on 1 inches. This is after folding it. It's giving 0.75, and I've cut out the elastic I'll be using on the hem of the sleeve. The length of the elastic is by 10 inches. Now I'll be passing this elastic on this hem of the sleeve I've already folded. I'll make use of my safety pin and pass the elastic this way. So now I'll stop and use my office pin to pin this down. And I'll keep on pushing the elastic through the hole. Guys, I'm done passing the elastic through the hole. Now I'll bring out the safety pin. Then I'll adjust the elastic inside. You can see how it is. And I'll pin it down. Go to the sewing machine. I will secure this down. And I will secure this other one also. After doing that, now I'll fold it this way. And I will join the sides on 1.5 inches. I'm done with the joining of the sleeve. You can see how it is. This is the back of the sleeve. And this is the front of the sleeve. So now the next we have to do is to join the sleeve to the top. So you make sure the joining at the side of your top is like this. Then the joining on the side of your shoulder will be facing the joining at the side of your top this way. Then you pin down. So after pinning down, you turn it to the back this way, and you make sure you've launched the center of your sleeve the way I've done mine, like this. And I'll make sure this joining at the shoulder. I'll go to the sewing machine. I'll be plinting this sleeve round the armhole, and I will show you what it looks like when I'm done. I'm done sewing the sleeve. You can see the way I pleat it round the armhole. This is it. You can see how neatly finished it is. And after sewing round, I use my overlocker to weave the round armhole. And this is the sleeve at the front. We are almost done. And the next we have to do is to fix in our zip. So for the zipper, this is it. This is the zipper I'm using. This open and close zipper. So now I'll go and sew this down on 0.75, which is my zipper allowance. I'll sew this to the up of the back, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with the fixing of my zipper. You can see how it looks at the back. This is it. This is the inside of the top, and this is the back of the top. Then now let's talk about the keyhole. So this is the satin after I finished, but I was not satisfied with this. You can see how it looks. Then I decided to use the bayards to create it, and I prefer the bayards. So now we'll go with the bayards. I will lose this keyhole. Then I will show you how to turn the cycle with the bayards. When I'm done losing it, then I will put you through on how to go about the turning, that it will look like this one we have here with the bayards, and this is the satin. So now let me do that and tell you how to turn the cycle. I'm done losing the keyhole. After losing it, now you now measure around the cycle this way, like this. Yeah, I have 5 inches. Now cut out the bayards. So now cut out the bayards on 5.5. This 5.5, I'll cut it out. So now we'll turn it to the back of the top. Now open one side of the bayards like this. But before sewing, you make sure you fold on 1/2 inches. That's why I cut on 5.5. As I'm sewing, I'll be folding the bayards around the cycle. I'll do that and show you what it looks like. You know, so you turn it to the front this way and you sew on the edge. Guys, I'm done with the keyhole. You can see how neatly it is. Now I'll do for the remaining 2 keyholes, and I will display this on my dress form for you to see. So guys, I'm done with the fixing of the bayards on the neckline. You can see how pretty the keyhole is. Thank you, and thank you guys for watching to the end. I really appreciate you all. See you on my next video. God bless you.